โยโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธสวากขาโตเยนะภะคะวะตาธัมโมสุปฏิปันโนยัสสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆธัมมยังภะคะวันตังสัทธัมมังสัสสังฆังอิเมหิสการเรหิยะถารหังอโรปิเตหิอภิปุชยามะสาธุโนพันเตภะคะวะสุชิราภรินิพุโตปิปัจฉิมาชนตานุกัมปมานะสันหิเมสการเรทุขตาปนาการภุเตปฏิคันหาตุหัมหากังติคารตังหิตายาสุขายาอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามิหันธมายังบุตตสาปุปภาคณมการันเจวะพุทธานุสตินยัญจกโรมะเสนนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะตังโคปนะภะคะวันตังเอวังกัลยาโนกิตติสัทโธอะภะคะโตเยติปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธเวจาจารณะสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตรปุริสธัมมสหรติสัทธาเทวมนุสสานังพุทโธภะคะวันติหันธมายังพุทธาภิกขิติงกโรมะเสนพุทธวาระหันธมายังบุตตสาปุปภาคณมการันเจวะพุทธานุสตินยัญจกโรมะเสนนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะตังโคปนะภะคะวันตังเอวังกัลยาโนกิตติสัทโธอะภะคะโตเอติปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธเวจาจารณะสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตรปุริสธัมมสหรติสัทธาเทวมนุสสานังพุทโธภะคะวันติหันธมายังพุทธาภิกขิติงกโรมะเสนพุทธวาระหันตวรตาติกุณัมปิยุตุนส สุนทาพิญญาณการุณาหิสมาคตโตบุญเทสิโยสุสนตังกัมพลัมวสุโรวันธามหังตมรณังศิรสาชิเนนตังบุญตัวโยสัพพะนินังสารนังเขมหัตตมังปันธมานุสติทานังวันทาปิตังสิเรนะหังบุญตาสาหัสมิตาโสวะบุญตัวเมสามิกิสโรบุญตัวดุขาสกตาจะวิทาตาจะหิตาสเมบุญตาสาหังนิยาเตเมสริรันชีวิตังจิตังวันดันโตหังเจเรสามิบุญทาเสวสุโพธิตังนาจิเมสรนังอัญญังบุญตัวเมสรนังฝรังเยเตนะสัจวันเจนวัฏไทยังสัตตสาสเนบุตังเมวันธมาเนนยังพุญญังปัสสุตังอิทัสสัพเพปิหันตรายาเมมเหสุงตัสสะเตจัสสังกายเยนะวาจายวะเจตสาวาพุทเตกุกัมมังปะกตังพยายังพุทโตปฏิคันทันตวัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมบริโตวะพุทเทหันธมายังธรรมานุสตินายังกโรมัสเหสวะคาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันติเทโกหะกาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกวัปปนายิโกปัจจตัมเมทิตาโพวิญโยเหเตหันธมายังธัมมาภิเกติงกโรมัสเหสวะคาตตาทิคุณโยขวเสนสยโยโยมังคปะคะเปริยันติวิโมคะเพตุนธัมโมกุโลกัปปัฏนาตถาทาริธาริวันธามหังตมหรัมวรธัมเมตังธัมโมโยสัพพปานินังสรณังเขมหัตตมังทุติยานุสติทานังวันทาปิตังสิเรนะหังธัมมาสาหัสมิตาโสวะธัมโมเมสามิเกสโรธัมโมดุขาสคาตาจะวิตาตาจะหิตาสเมธัมมาสาหังนิยาเตมิสริรันชีวิตังจิตังวันทันโตหังเจเรสามิธัมมาเสวะสุธัมมตังนาจิเมสรนังอัญญังธัมโมเมสรนังฝรังเยเตนะสัจวันเจนวัฏไทยังสัทธสาสเนธัมมังเมวันธมาเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตังอิทัสสัพเพปิหันตรายาเมมเหสุงตัสสะเตจัสสังกายเยนะวาจายวะเจตสาวาธัมเมกุกัมมังปะกตังพยายังธัมโมปฏิคันทันตวัจจยันตังก กาลันตเรสัมวริโตวะธัมเมหันธมายังสังขานุสตินายังกโรมาเสเหสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆโอชปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาญาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามิจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาติทังจัตตาริปุริสโยคานิหัตถปุริสปุคคลันเอสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนหิโยปาหุเนหิโยตาคิเนหิโยอัญชเลกรณิโยอนุตรังปุญญังเขตังโลกัสสติหันธมายังสังฆาภิกขิติงกโรมาเสสัทธัมมะโชสุปฏิปันติโคนาติโยโตโยธาภิโตหาริยปุคคลสังกเสโตเสลาดิธัมมะภวราสยกายจิตโตวันธามหังตมริยานากังสุสุดังสังโฆโยสาภปานินังสรณังเขมวัตมังตาติยานุสติทานังวันธาเมตังสิเรนะหังสังฆาสาหัสมิทาโสวาสังโฆเมสามิกิสโรสังโฆโดคัสสะคาตาจะปิตาตาจะหิตาสเมสังฆาสาหังนิยาเตมิสาริรันชีวิตังจิตังวันทันโตหังเจเรสหมิสังฆาโสปฏิปันนตังนาจิเมสรนังอัญญังสังโฆเมสรนังวรังเยเตนะสัจวันเจนะวัฏฐัยยังสัตตุสัสเนสังฆังเมวันธรรมาเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตังอิทาสัพเพเปหันตรายาเมมะเหสังตัสสะเตจัสสะกายเยนะวาจายวเจตสาวาสังเกโกกัมมังปะกตังมยายังสังโฆปฏิกันหันโตอัจจยันตังกาลันตเรสัมวริโตวะสังเขหันธมายังสรวัญเยนะบุตตมังคลกาทายโยปนามาเสสัมพุทโธทิปะทังเสโตเนเสโนเจวามันเจเพกวนดันโยภะภะเกจังอังเกนะเยจักขันสะกุลสาริปุ เนหารติเยวปาลิจังปัจเจเมปิจานันโทหายาเปจักวัมปติโมคัลลาโนจัตตาเรเอสาเนปิจาราหุโลเอเมโคมังกาลาบุตตังสัพเพดาปเตเตตังวันเดตาเตจัหัมเมสักการะจะโพเจตังเอเตสังฆานุภาเวนะสัพพโสเทภวันตุโนเอเจวะจังตนามาสนัยยังนามาสมาโนรัตนาตายังยังปุญญาวิสันทังเวโพลังอาลันตังตัสสะนุภาเวนะหตังดารายโย Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Margaret. Good evening, Noduang Unchit. Good evening, everyone. Those who are attending for the chanting this evening. Good evening, Yvonne, Margaret. Those who are attending today. So tonight I will be chanting. This is called the Mangala Suta or the Maha Mangala Suta. This is the discourse on the highest blessings. So there are 38 of the highest blessings on this particular discourse, which starts from not associating with the foolish ones and association with the wise ones. The story that during the time of the Buddha, people began to ask that what would be the highest blessings. And it extended into a wider community, that what would be the blessings. And some began to say that the things that we see is blessings. And here seeing here basically means the nice view, a nice thing would be the blessings. Whereas other groups began to question on that and saying that sometimes when we wake up and we go out from the house, we may not be able to see beautiful things at all the time. So they say that it should be the hearing, beautiful voice or beautiful or positive vibes and nice words. So divides into two different groups. And there's again some another group comes and says that these two can be mistaken. Early morning, as soon as you wake up, there is possibility of hearing unwanted words or unwanted things that may upset whole of your day, and which is quite obvious quite often when we are talking to someone or when we are having a bad discussion with someone early morning, that can ruin our feelings for the rest of the day. So with that, there's another group emerges and saying that touching, if we touch a nice thing and if we touch a beautiful and a comfortable or a smooth and thing, then that would be blessings. And that could be another reason why luxury is always being very smooth and a very soft touch. In Asian country, a few countries such as like in Sri Lanka, in India, and even in Nepal, whenever someone is leaving a house, they will have proper, fully topped up vases will be left to see you, to let you see. And meanwhile, there will be beautiful items will be decorated. You will be given soft touches, hoping that it will bring a luck and a happiness. So similar thing happened during the time of the Buddha, and that divided the community into three different groups. And the legend also said that it wasn't just the humans, those who divided into different groups, but also that that divides the whole, even the celestial beings. And having was divided into such a different groups, and no one able to come to the conclusion that which will be the highest blessings. Each one tried to claim their thoughts and their ideas are the highest blessings. And it happened that during the time a group of celestial beings realized that the Buddha was living in Savatthi, in a Jeta's Grove, the Jeta's Grove, which was built by the Anathapindika sect. Anathapindika is a millionaire, that Buddha would be a ideal person to go and ask. So a group of people, a group of celestial beings come down to see the Buddha. And it says that this debate were going on for 12 years. And celestial beings comes to visit to the Buddha and asks that which one is the highest blessings among seeing a nice thing, hearing a beautiful voice, or touching a smooth and a nice thing. And having heard these three, Buddha rejected all and proposed these highest blessings. And that starts from not association with the foolish or the bad people. An association with the wise one would be the second. And it ends with the highest attainment that one could attain as a nibbana, which will help, which will again lead to a person who will not suffer, will not have any distress or stress at all. So this is the discourse. Actually, this discourse I have taught last year during the COVID-19 to a group of students for 12 weeks on a different, all different these stages, and explaining what does these means and how one should live. And also, now we are in the week of our preparation for the Katina. Our Katina is on the 7th of November. We are going to organize it here at the temple. So it's going to be very cold, and whoever is willing to attend the ceremony, please wrap up yourself. And we are having a few members of the community from in the UK as well as abroad sponsoring, and in the sponsorship there is no fixed price or fixed donation, whatever amount you would like to generously support to the center, you can offer as well. Anyway, so let's go to the sutta, and then and we'll see what happens. Okay, and the sutta is a blessing sutta, and a person who follows according to these guidelines not only will have a happiness and blessings in this moment, but also it also gives us a blessings wherever we are living, and also in different places until we attain the liberation eventually. Evam sutang ekang samayang bhagava sahavantiyang viharati jetavane anata pindika saarame Atako anyataran devata abhikantaya ratiya abhikantavanna kevalakapang Jetavanang obhasetava yena bhagavate dopasangkami upasankamitava bhagavantang abhivadetawa ekamantang attasi ekamantang tita kosa devatam bhagavantang kathaya ajavasi Baho deva mano sahaja mangkalani achintayong akang kamana sothanang brohi mangkalavatamang Asevana cha balanang panditanang cha sevana punjan cha pujaniyanang etang mangkalavatamang Patiropade savaso cha pupe cha kata punyata atasamma paniti cha etang mangkalavatamang Bahosa chan cha sepan cha vinayo cha susekito subhasita cha yahwa cha etang mangkalavatamang mata pito upatahanang Puntadara sasangkahohana kula jakamanta etang mangkalavatamang tanan jadamacariya jayatakanan jasangkao Anavajjani kammani etang mangalavot mangarati virati papa majapana cha sangyavoa apamado cha dhammesu Etang mangkalavot mangkaravot nivato santo te katan yota kale na dhamma savanang Etang mangkalavot mangkante so vacha sata samananan dacanang kale na dhamma sahakacha Etang mangkalavot mang tapo brahmachariyan hariya sachan dacanang nepana sajikiriya Etang mangkalavot mang pontas lokadhamme cetang yasanakam patihasohokang virajang kemang Etang mangkalavot mang etadesani katawana saapatamaparajita saapatasoting Gachanti tang te sang mangkalamuttamanti. I will read the translation of this discourse, saying that I have heard that at one time the Blessed One was staying near Savatthi at the Jetasu Grove, Anathapindika's park. Then a certain devata in the fore extreme of the night, her extreme radiance lightening up the entirety of Jeta's grove, approached the Blessed One. On approaching, having bowed down to the Blessed One, she stood to one side. As she was standing there, she addressed the Blessed One with a verse. Many devas and humans being give thought to blessing, desiring well-being. Tell them the highest blessings, the Lord Buddha. The Lord Buddha said, not consorting with fools, consorting with the wise, paying homage to those who deserve homage. This is the highest blessings. So in this particular one verse, Buddha is saying that association with the wise one, not association with the foolish one, and paying homage to those who deserve homage are the highest blessing, and which is the foundation. And it also suggests that how much we are influenced by people that we associate. And further, living in a suitable country, having made merit in the past, and directing oneself rightly, this is the highest blessings. And here again, Buddha is talking about other three different blessings, which again affects to our life as well, particularly living in a suitable country. And living in a suitable place is very important for well-being and happiness of an individual or all human beings. If we are living in a place where it doesn't conducive or suitable, then it will be very distressing and stressful moment for people. Like recently we have heard the Syria, and we have recently heard from Afghanistan. People are suffered quite a bit, and as we know here even in Scotland, Aberdeen and Aberdeenshire, recently few Afghans arrived due to the place where they were very difficult. So that's also another blessings, that having an opportunity or living in a suitable place is the highest blessings. And further on, Buddha is talking that having made merit in the past and then directing oneself rightly in this present moment. So we also have to accumulate significantly a good amount of merits from the past that will help us to keep us in the right direction and living in the right place. So oneself can establish in a right. So that is the another blessings. Further blessings, the Buddha is suggesting that is to have much learning, to be skillful in a handicraft, well trained in a discipline, and to be well spoken. This is the highest blessings. So on this stanza, Buddha is talking about the 4 different skills, and this is for one to live a life fruitfully, so that he can or she can use all the skills that one has learned to earn things for the livings. So that's why it starts from learned one, second and third one. Second one is learning some skills and trained oneself properly, and also having a person who speaks rightly or well spoken. That is subhasita yavaja. That means a person who speaks positive things and always encouraging encouraging speech to one another, and that is the highest blessings. And further, Buddha says to support one's parents is another highest blessings, and to cherish wife and children, and that's another responsibility. Is talking that the relationship that we have to build up. As a child, there is a responsibility to look after our parents, and also meanwhile, as a wife or a husband, there is a responsibility to cherish and look after a wife or a husband or children, and to be engaged in a peaceful occupation. And this again, engagement in a peaceful occupation, so certainly suggests the wise occupations. Normally, it is regarded the occupation that harms other people or causes harms to other people should not be doing. And this is the highest blessings. And further on, the Buddha is saying to be generous in giving, to be righteous in conduct, to help one's relatives, and to be blameless in action. So this particular stanza saying 5 different highest blessings, and this is again a responsibility towards other people. When we look at ourselves, we receive so much, and people support so much for us. And meanwhile, Buddha is suggesting that in order to be blessed, we have to share as well, and the sharing is again. It's one of the very important factors that brings the blessings. So that saying that to be generous in giving and having a righteous conduct, and help relatives, and having a blameless action, anavajani kammani, any action that a wise one would disapprove, we should not be committing. That is the highest blessings. Further on, avoiding and abstaining from evil, refraining from intoxicants, being heedful with regard to qualities of the mind. This is the highest blessings. And here again, self-restraint, and this really takes a lot mental state, how much we are in control over our action. Normally, sometimes whenever the people are not around, we become lazy, and mind can play tricks that nobody sees and we don't have to do. And there will be no shame and a feeling of a dread. So a person who doesn't have a feeling of shame and a feeling of dreadful would not be there would not be things that that person would not do. So this is coming here and saying that a person who is willing to have a blessings should avoid those actions. Further on, saying that the respect, the humility, contentment, gratitude, hearing the Dhamma on timely occasion, this is the highest blessings. Obviously, respect, when we respect others, they will respect us back. But if you are expecting respect from somebody, but you do not respect, then there will be no respect at all. And humility, again, the humility is such a beautiful quality that one should have, which again reduces a significant amount of this ego-centered, that I am the one, I am better, I am greater, I know something like that. And contentment and being content with what we have, what we are, is also another good thing to have that brings the blessings to our life. And in gratitude, obviously, we always need to think of a gratitude to someone, even the one who pick up the litters or refuse collectors, and they are doing something great job for us. And again, hearing the Dhamma on a timely occasion, and it's always advisable to have a wise discussions to one another so that we will have a right understanding of things. So that is the highest blessings. And further on, Buddha is saying that the patience, composure, seeing mendicant monks, and discussing the Dhamma on timely occasion, this is the highest blessings. Now, obviously, patience is the key, and the patience is such a essential principle that one should have, which brings, which again takes us to any difficulties and any difficult times, and we can overcome from it. And patience, the patient to the weather, patience to the conditions, the others' blame and others' fame, and such and such. A person who has got the patience, then that person will have a very composer mind and composer of their senses. And with that, again, occasionally or possibly whenever we have a time, should go and visit the wise ones like monks. That gives us a comfort and feel calmness as their behaviors are there and practicing. So they are embodying the kindness and compassion by associating or seeing them occasionally, and does help us. Like me, I myself, quite often I have to go and see other monks and discussing the Dhamma and timely occasion. So discussion also helps us quite a lot too. An austerity, holy and chastity life, seeing the noble truth, realizing unbinding is the highest blessings. Now, Buddha further expanding the highest blessings is the austerity that one has to develop, and living a holy and chastity life, and seeing the reality pertaining to itself, and that helps to realizing unbinding. And this requires quite a lot of practice and a lot of dedication to realize it. Sometimes our mind just drifts away and think other things. Mind is not concentrated, and it will be difficult. Like early this evening's chanting, after a few minutes of a chanting, I was drift away into the thoughts, and I wasn't conscious about what I was chanting. As a result, I had to repeat again from the beginning, so that doing correctly. And this is again comes from this realizing what is what is not been realized, and understanding it. Further on, the mind is unruffled by the vagaries of fortune, from sorrow freed, from defilements cleansed, from fear liberated. This is the greatest blessings. And obviously, we are always swayed by what we gain and what we defame or what we do not get, kind of like that. So it's known as our behavior and our thoughts are always affected by what we get and what we do not get. Um, so Buddha is saying that once we are fully developed, then these will not be affecting our thoughts or a process or our attitude, and which is again very higher state. Only the noble ones like arhats or Buddhas can attain such a state. But however, Buddha is saying that a person who has attained such state will have the highest blessings and fully uh, cleansed from all the defilements, and that person is liberated. And so that liberation is the highest blessings. And the last one is basically the summary, saying that those who abide in these words, these ways, remain ever invincible, in happiness established. These are the highest great blessings to one another. So this is the discourse. I end here. Sadhu. Now let's do this dedication of a merit and aspiration to finish off tonight's chanting. Hantamayang udesanaditana gatayo panamasehi imina punya kammena upachaya kunotara acariyo pakara cha mata pita cha yataka Suriyo chanti maharaja kunavanta narapicha Brahma maharaja indha cha lokapala cha devata Yamo meta manosa cha manchata verika picha Sape sata sukhi hontu punyani pakatani me Sukhancha tividantentu khipam pape tabo matang Imina punya kammena imina udhisena cha Khipahang sulape je vatanupatana chetanang Ye santane hina dhamma yavane panato mamang Nasanto sampatha ye vayata chato pave pave Ojo chitang sati panya sandeko viryam hina Mara labant noka sankatun cha virye subhe Thotati pavarona thotammo natho varuttamo Nato pacheka poto cha sankho nato taro mamang Te sotamanu bhavena Maro kasang labhantu ma Through the goodness that arises from my practice, may my spiritual teachers and guides of great virtue, my mother, my father, and my relatives, the sun and the moon, and all virtuous leaders of world, may the highest gods and evil forces, celestial beings, guardian spirit of the earth, and the Lord of death, may those who are friendly, indifferent, or hostile, may all beings receive the blessings of my life. May they soon attain the threefold bliss and realize the deathless. Through the goodness that arises from my practice, and through this act of sharing, may all desires and attachment quickly cease, and all harmful state of mind until I realize Nibbana. In every kind of birth, may I have an upright mind, with mindfulness and wisdom, austerity and vigor. May the forces of delusion not take hold, nor weaken my resolve. The Buddha is my excellent refuge, Unsurpassed is the protection of the Dhamma. The solitary Buddha is my noble Lord. The Sangha is my supreme support. Through the supreme power of all these, may darkness and delusion be dispelled. So let's pay respect to the Buddha. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagavan Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivatimi Sawakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Subhadipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. So, thank you everyone for tonight, this evening chanting, and this ends here now. And whoever would like to practice meditation further, you can continue practicing. Unless, and then tomorrow, see you tomorrow again. So, thank you and good night.